Today's obscure 90s macOS shenanigans are brought to you by Squarespace. But more on that in a bit. This is an IBM ThinkPad 765L, a rather quirky laptop from 1997. But it's hiding an obscure superpower. It's the most powerful Intel laptop that's fully compatible with Rhapsody, that weird precursor to macOS 10 that Apple released for both Mac and PC. So today, let's build a really weird 90s Hackintosh. So stay tuned. And if you enjoy getting up close and personal with the weird and wonderful computing of the 1990s, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. The ThinkPad 765L was the last of the fabled 760 series of ThinkPad. Released in the summer of 1997, this thing has a 166 MHz Pentium MMX, it came with a 3 gig hard drive, and it supported a respectable 104 megs of RAM. And best of all, it came with a beautiful 13.3-inch XGA screen. That's right, we're talking glorious 1024 by 768. And according to the venerable RhapsodyOS.org, this is the most powerful, fully compatible Rhapsody laptop. So we should be able to get Rhapsody running on this thing in full color with 1024 by 768 networking and the ever elusive sound. Alright, just look at this thing. It has a bunch of really interesting quirks and features. On the front here is a CD-ROM drive, which is actually swappable with a floppy drive. We'll get into that in a second. There are two speakers here. There's a little top status LCD. If we had a modem, it would go here. We have microphone and audio input, power switch. We have a strangely shaped power jack. We have serial VGA outs, parallel port, and the custom dock. And yeah, this port here would be for the floppy drive, but we don't have a floppy drive to plug into it. And around the side we have two PC card slots. Now, let me show you how freaking weird this thing is. These two latches you pull to open the screen, you pull them towards you, but if you push them away, then you can open the top of the laptop like the hood of a car. It's actually on a hinge. Here's where the hard drive mounts. Normally there would be a 3 GB hard drive, but we're going to use a compact flash adapter. We have the CD-ROM drive, which lifts out with this handle here. But it is swappable with the same thing on this floppy drive, which goes right in here, which, yeah, we will need to use this floppy drive. And in the middle here, we have our battery, which of course is dead. Underneath this back panel here, we have access to some of the laptop's guts, like the memory is under here. But we're not going to get into that because whatever memory is in here is going to be just fine for Rhapsody. And unfortunately, the screen is a little bit worse for wear with discoloration and it's really fuzzy. So let's swap in this new old stock LCD I found. All right, let's have a quick screen replacement montage. Oh yeah, it works great. Now to install Rhapsody, we're going to need a CD-ROM drive and a floppy drive, and unfortunately, I don't have the external floppy for this thing, so it's either floppy or CD-ROM. So we're going to have to improvise. Right after this word about today's sponsor, Squarespace. Create a fast, beautiful, and rich web experience for your business or brand using Squarespace's powerful all-in-one platform. It's really easy to get started. Like, say I wanted to build a website dedicated to the weird and wonderful world of Apple Rhapsody. I could build it in just minutes with Squarespace's new next-generation Fluid engine, which features powerful drag-and-drop technology and enables you to customize every detail of your customer's experience on desktop and mobile. That's on top of optimizing for SEO, managing a mailing list, watching analytics, and much more. So check out squarespace.com/actionretro today for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code ActionRetro to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Okay, so to install Rhapsody, we have a boot disk and a driver disk and a CD-ROM with the actual installation on it. So what we have to do is boot from the boot disk and then switch over to the driver disk to load drivers for the hard drive and the CD-ROM. And we'll start with what I think is the least likely CD-ROM to work with Rhapsody, this VAIO thing. All right, booting into Rhapsody. Enter to boot. 1 for English. And then 1 to prepare to install. And I just noticed that the CD-ROM isn't even getting power, so I don't know if it likes this computer. All right, now it's asking for the driver disk. All right, now I can use 7 to cycle through this list to find the CD-ROM driver we want to use. So, yeah, I don't have high hopes. Alright, I don't know if Rhapsody likes the PC card slot. There is no power at all. Alright, let's try with the backpack parallel drive, which has its own power. Well, no luck with this one either. I think we're going to have to get even more creative. And I have! I just remembered that I have a whole bunch of Rhapsody disk images fully installed from when I was trying to run Rhapsody on my Toshiba libretto. I actually found a disk image here that DOSDude1 sent me from his libretto with some custom libretto drivers, and I DD'd that over to the CF card here, and let's see if it boots. Oh yeah, booting into Rhapsody. Alright, well, we'll probably have to configure the video driver and probably all of the drivers, but it's booting. And we are in 1-bit black and white. So let's go into system configuration. Change the driver to the ThinkPad 760 version. And change the resolution to 1024 by 768, 16-bit, 60 hertz. While we're in here, we'll set up audio because we do not have this Yamaha. Instead, this first ESS driver should work. Now we'll just have to restart. Oh, look at that. Glorious color. And here we are in Rhapsody running pretty well. Oh, there's sound too. All right, so this is Rhapsody. This is basically Next Step and then Open Step, but reskinned after Apple purchased Next to look like the macOS 8 style Platinum. And this kind of paneled file manager is very much the Next Step way of doing things, which I kind of really like. We can change it to look, well, just like macOS. How weird is that? Look, we're on an IBM ThinkPad running an extremely Mac-like operating system in full color. It's pretty wild, honestly. All right, I do like the column view better. Let's get some software onto the desktop for easy access. Boink out the best game. Let's see, sound.app. So we can do some experiments. Here's our favorite chess, which is the same chess app basically that we have today in macOS. OmniWeb, which is a web browser. Let's see if Boink Out has audio. Oh, it does. Yeah, good old Apple chess, which is actually GNU chess. Sound.app. I wonder if the microphone works. Testing. We are testing the microphone. Oh my god, I think it works. That's the volume meter. Testing. We are testing the microphone. Oh my god, I think it works. That's the volume meter. I can't believe it. The mic works. We can record audio and play it back in Rhapsody on this super compatible ThinkPad. Well, that brings me way more joy than is probably appropriate. All right, now, networking. There are only a few networking cards supported by Rhapsody, and I have a whole bunch here that I hope we can find one that works, and I hope the PCMCIA card slot in here works. We are going to go with one that I've read about. The Otherlink 3 PCMCIA adapter. And then we need to go into Expert and change this to have a D on the end. And then we restart. Now in Preferences.app, I can configure the network settings. Okay, well, none of the network adapters wanted to work, but I was able to burn a CD on my modern Mac with some fun stuff like Rhapsody Doom. Oh yeah, check it out. We have Rhapsodoom, which doesn't seem to work. Okay, so that'll do it for this weird foray into Rhapsody on this interesting ThinkPad. It really is very compatible, way more compatible than any of the other weird Intel machines I've tried to run Rhapsody on before. I can't believe the microphone works, but I'm pretty sure that these PC card slots are dead. And that's unfortunate because I really wanted to get this thing online and see just how slowly OmniWeb can browse the internet. So I think I do want to go into this thing later and try to fix these PC card slots, or maybe use a donor machine to swap in some working components. And I think I'm going to do some experiments on some other old laptops that aren't on the Shaw compatibility list to see if I can find any others that are very compatible. But that'll do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more shenanigans like this, please subscribe down below. And thank you very much for watching. And a special thanks to Alex Hoffman, Andrew Nicholson, April White, Chris Biggs, Chris Calderon, Chris Nelson, Control-Alt-Reese, Daniel Hubbard, Frodo Jedi, George Rosansky, Greg Hrutke, Harris Brody, James Fryman, James Laurie, Jason Peepaz, Jason Ezel, Lyle Truid, Matthew Crowell, Paul Spencer, Ryan, Scott Cedarbaum, Scott Thompson, Tom Woodfin, and Unknown Soldier 41, who are my highest tiered patrons and all of my Patreon supporters for helping make these videos possible.